I think us as a society need to let go of hustle culture. It is something from the industrial age that we are now moving out of, going into the information age. And it is kind of holding a lot of people back, and it is hurting a lot of people, and it is bringing less meaningful work and less work that is actually helping society. I hate it so much because, like, you have less recovery, aka the thing that actually allows you to propel yourself and not be burnt out. You also have less sleep, which leads to burnout, leads to emotional derangement, and people who don't think for others but only for themselves, and only focused on like very selfish means, and not as us as a society as whole, and helping people, which is the best way to make cash because you make so much more of it. And you also get like low energy, brain fog, can't perform well, and you have the inability to consolidate new information as a whole. It's like hustle culture is literally like counterproductive to what people think it is. And I don't think, I know that we need a new societal structure around how we work. So recovery, I'm going to paint a picture in your head. So recovery allows for this thing to happen. So like reading a book or reading an article or watching a YouTube video, you get information from. So what happens to this information? Well, it turns into a cluster in your brain. Think about it like a dot. Every time you learn something or listen to something or just look at something, you get an information cluster in your head, and you have a bajillion of these in your head. You don't know it, and you can only, pull 1 to 2 out at a time. But you have them up there, and recovery allows for you to gain more of these, and not only gain more of them, but actually draw lines between them. So think about it in this scenario. You have a bunch of dots in there, and let's say, you get those dots, like I said, from watching a video, or reading a book, and you go for a walk. When you go for a walk, this allows your brain to kind of go into chaos mode. It just allows yourself to draw a ton of lines from just all these random thoughts, and then you happen to have a profound thought or idea. Or, I know anybody can relate to this, but a shower thought. This is exactly what showering does. It allows your brain to kind of be in a chaos type state and draw a ton of connections from one dot to another. And this is where you get the aha moments, or like, why didn't I think about this earlier? And this is the part that people miss, because this is what allows you to work so efficiently. Because the person that's working 80 hours a week, they don't have the time to do this because they're so busy working that they can't indulge in new information or make new connections. Now, don't get me wrong. You can increase the amount of work in like a specific period of your life once you make enough connections and have like a crazy aha moment, but it doesn't necessarily mean stop making connections, because there's like, think about walking through a hallway to your goal, and every time you gain a new piece of information or you connect a dot to another dot that hasn't ever been connected, it opens up a door in that hallway that you can kind of go over to, and it's a new hallway that gets you to the same goal. But that goal or that hallway may get you there a lot faster. And it's an incredible way to think and work, and people just don't understand this. Now, once you understand, the conscious waking hours of how recovery works, it's bound to the sleep section. So the sleep is the most powerful because it allows you to actually consolidate the information into long-term memory. So then that way you can kind of pull it on your walks. Something that you learned a year ago, you can pull, or a month ago, you can pull during a walk. If you don't get good quality sleep, you're unable to pull those information from your kind of database because it doesn't get indexed. So when you sleep and you have good REM sleep, specifically REM sleep because that is the mental restorative state, you index those informations. Now, to actually have the power to, you need, deep sleep, and I go over all this in my sleep course. But anyways, all of these things happen during sleep, and you're unable to actually come up with new ideas if you don't consolidate that information. And another bonus is, when you're dreaming, when you consolidate that information, it's actually getting processed and also drawing lines between different ideas as well in the same time that you're putting them in the long term, or aka indexing them. So you can actually come up with profound thoughts in the middle of your sleep. And for me personally, I keep a notebook right beside my bed, because you never know when those ideas come up, because they come up and then you can put them into your own mental database externally. That is going to be a video later this week about Commonplace book, A Second Brain, a more sophisticated one that we used to use but we no longer do. And yes, it is just amazing. You need to improve your sleep, and I care so much about improving the sleep and how powerful this is that I've made an entire course on how to actually improve your sleep. It has so much information, and it improves your sleep within 30 days. I have a full video series on me running through this course, and I've refined it since then, but I've done it myself within 30 days, and it was the best experience and best thing that I've done in my life. And I recommend literally any person, especially information workers, to go and take this course to improve your sleep quality. It is absurd. Anyways, if you want to figure out more about how these activities are done and how to do them properly and intake information in a unique way, the video I uploaded yesterday was all about mindfulness and being in the present, which will propel everything that you do. So that video link is in the screen, and the link to that course is in the description. So thank you, and have a wonderful day.